Hey, 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 welcome to Famish for More. This is your girl Nisha, and I just want to say thank you for our returning listeners. And if you're new here, thank you for stopping by. Now, today I'm just going to pick up with the theme from episode 11. And we were talking about the theme of the year 2024. It's the year of 8, the year of karma. And so, how it's coming and it's doing the retribution and it's bringing abundance in different spaces and it's clearing out old ways that need to be moved away. And so, we all are experiencing it on a collective level, but in our personal lives as well. And if you've been listening, you understand that I am on this quest. I've been on this quest of, learning myself so I can evolve and manifest, to the fullest potential here. And so I've been diving into astrology and following my birth chart. And so I've been speaking on the birth chart. I encourage you guys to go get your birth chart. It's free. Just type it into Google, and you just need to know your birth time and your birth place to have accurate, to get your rising and all of the accurate aspects and degrees that's needed to kind of code what this life path is all about here. So that brings me to Saturn, because Saturn is daddy karma. And if we were talking about karma as a whole for the year, let's just narrow down and get kind of individualized with it. So Saturn in your chart is basically lessons that you have to learn in this lifetime, and it's work that you have to do in this lifetime. So in the chart, it may fall in a house. Well, it is going to fall in a house, and that house it has an energy of its own that represents a zodiac sign. But then you may also have a separate individual zodiac sign that falls in that house. And your job is to basically figure out what's the karma. It kind of tells you what the karma is for you to work out, and you kind of see it kind of replay in your life. So as you find out, like I'll just use me as an example. My Saturn is in Libra in the 3rd house. And it's in a degree, which is a Cancer degree. And I also have some aspects like sextiling and conjunctions with that, with different planets. Now, Saturn restricts. So it being in my 3rd house, it has a lot. The theme of the 3rd house is childhood, siblings, close friends, close family, like cousins, short travel, communication, thinking, things of that nature. And the theme is really kind of like around your younger days. And so I have Saturn, which is a karmic energy, that I have a lesson there to learn with my communication. Maybe I learn, well, not gonna say maybe. I have learned some karmic lessons within my friendship groups. Saturn also gives you, I have it in Libra, so that means authority figure type of restriction that I've experienced from actually communicating like I want. And I've spoke on this in previous episodes, where the restriction that I had on me in the 3rd house up until now is what I'm working on. That is what produced this podcast. So it's like me releasing the fear, the doubt, and the blocks, because that's the lesson that Saturn comes to teach us, and to walk into the transformation. So it took me to go through a physical, mental, and spiritual transformation to end up here, freely speaking on the podcast, which is my 3rd house, communication. But there was blockages that it took a life like a big traumatic event to push me into this direction. And that's what Saturn does. If you're hard-headed and you don't want to do it willingly, Saturn comes to like literally kick your ass straight into it. And you don't know how it's gonna hit you. I just say, put out good energy your whole life, because when Saturn comes, you don't know how it comes, but how you recover from it could have everything to do with the energy you've put out in the past. And the reason I say that is because I had a stroke, for those who do not know, and my communication and my thinking was affected short term from that. So I had aphasia, where I couldn't say what I wanted to say. I could what the thoughts was in my brain, but I could not form the word. I would go blank. Short-term memory. I still have short-term memory, but it's not like it was at the very beginning of my stroke. And so that was my karmic lesson to kind of like push through. Like, am I going to revert and give up, or am I going to push through this karmic lesson that is hitting my third house, which is my thinking, my communication? Also, with it being in Libra, I have to learn to, because I'm always a people pleaser. So the way I think, the way I speak, I balance that, always thinking of other people. So I'm not fully expressing myself or my thoughts because of the Libra energy of people pleasing. So I have to break through that and express myself fully and not care about the opinions of others. So that is my karmic lesson. And that's just an example. So the next thing with Saturn is generational planet energy, which means it is slow momentum here. This is something you may have dealt with, or your family may have had the same blockage or restriction in their lives as well. So with it being generational, it could be, like I said, jump from generation to generation, or it just could mean it's really slow and it's going to take you your lifetime to kind of like push through it, or to get in the flow of what Saturn is requiring of you in this lifetime. Having Saturn in the third house makes me a great researcher because of that slow momentum. I'm like the tortoise. That's the energy. If I could think about Saturn, it's like the people with Saturn in the third house, you have this block in your younger years. Like, you can't communicate like you really want to. You can't probably achieve really good in the earlier days of school, but you do great after like 30. Like, once you get some good living under your belt, it's like you excel. And that's what happened with me. I didn't go back to school and enroll in college until I was 31. Don't get that spark until after our first solar return. Not solar return, sorry, Saturn return. So it makes you, again, a great researcher, because you're kind of like a collector of life, because you're not so book smart in the beginning. You become more life smarts, if that's a word. You get more of your education through life experiences and other people, like your close siblings, your close family, cousins, your close surroundings, your neighborhood, things of that nature. And it teaches the patience. Again, back to that slow, steady type of energy. It comes to teach you patience. So wherever Saturn is in your birth chart, it's there to teach you patience in that theme of what that house is. So me having Saturn, I also have Mars and Pluto in my third house. I have to have patience with communicating with people, because I'm fast. I'm fast with it. I'm with it really quick. And that's just a blessing of the third house. I have like a stellium in the third house, and it makes you think on your feet really quick, really good with comebacks, and so you kind of be impatient with people that aren't that quick thinking or whatnot. And so that is a restriction of patience that we have to learn in this lifetime with others, because that's why Saturn's there. It's there for a lesson. It's there to shine a light on you, and in a good and bad way. So it shows you your strengths, but it also shows you how your strengths can be intimidating and used in a bad way to those who don't have those same strengths, if that makes sense. And so this transformation happens as you accept the calling, accept what Saturn is asking you to do in this lifetime. And it's not an easy feat, because Saturn is not coming to give you an easy job. It is that's like your father giving you boot camp. You know what I mean? It's like your mom's not here, not gonna cry. No, you gotta get up and you gotta work, you gotta work out, you gotta do like that type of energy. And you have to be up for it, or you'll be pushed into it.